Welcome, folks, to Wizards Outlook. We got Raymond Lyons here with us tonight. Wilson Tucker Jr. We saw JT Thor deliver the dagger. JT Thor, of all people, he had 3 points in this game. Who knew that his 3 points, his only made basket, would be one of the most pivotal shots of the night? We saw the Wizards hold off the Kings 116 to 111. Um, yeah, I thought it was a gritty win. Initially, just a couple of thoughts. We saw a lot from Buck Carrington late in this one, and then Tristan Vukovic with the big game from him. Again, I think it was a couple games ago we were talking about, you know, the luxury of Washington having both him and Sarr, and the different ways they go about their business. But I want to get your thoughts on this, Ray, and then I'll jump back in. What you thought about Washington finding their way to a win in this game?
Yeah, it's always easier when the shots are falling. 52% from the field, 40% from three. Yeah, that on top of the other things they did well. Defensively, still a little left to be desired. But I mean, one thing we've learned about this group is they're always going to play hard. And I mean, they did that tonight, and they came up with stops when they needed them. They had the big third quarter. This is usually the other way around. They scored 36 points in the third, but they turned around and surrendered 34 in the fourth. But they built up enough of a cushion to go ahead and seal the win. But yeah, the 3-point shooting that definitely helped them out a lot. They made 17 of 43. The Kings were 10 of 39. So plus 21 from beyond the arc is it's always a good thing. Kings got to the line more. They were 21 to 28. Wizards only got to the line 18 times, making 13. They stayed in the ballpark rebounding wise, but still got outperformed on the offensive boards. That's been a struggle for them as of late. Well, pretty much the whole season. The Kings at 17 offensive rebounds. That's a lot. But I mean, we always talk about which boxes the Wizards check and how it translates to wins. Typically, when they shoot the ball like this, they win. Because that means they're in a good offensive flow, which usually means they at some point have gotten stops or have kept the opposing team out of transition. So I mean, it like you said, man, they just found a way to win, and that's good to see. When the majority of the young guys are out there, and they're just kind of feeling their way through it. So yeah, you mentioned Vucevic. He was pretty solid tonight. Justin Champagnie, we talk about him often. He continues to be a bright spot. Bub kind of caught fire from three. Jordan Poole did his part tonight, 8-14, 5-5 from the line, 23 points. And AJ Johnson, he's making the most of his opportunities. He's been getting more time as of late, and he's been producing. You can't ask for anything better. I mean, we know what it is at this point in the season. They're just letting guys get their reps. But yeah, man, it's building towards something for the future, and it's good to see those guys produce and get these chances.
Yeah, I think the thing I was the most impressed with was they kind of held their composure. You talked about Bub. I think it was a flurry of three. I think it was three threes towards the end of the third quarter. I know the first one he caught. Credit to Bub and AJ Johnson. So they caught Sabonis on a couple switches, and they made him pay for it each and every time. A couple of times it was threes. One of them I felt bad for Donis. He's out there one-on-one with AJ. There's not a chance in hell once AJ gets by you that you're catching up. At least for Sabonis. And then we saw in the fourth quarter, DeMar just being DeMar. He hit a switch and it meant a whole lot of free throws. Like for Washington, he didn't hit all of his free throws, which definitely hurt the Kings in this one. But he got, as soon as he started going about his business, I was just sitting here tweeting, just appreciating his craft. I'm sure for these youngsters, and I'm sure it was a nice moment for these youngsters. Whereas there's no way in hell on that scout report it said that it didn't say, "Hey, if Damar pump fake, stay on your feet." And he continually got folks up off the ground each and every time. Um, I think that was the only bad part. The bad part of the night for AJ Johnson was he fouled out because him and Bub were having to deal with Demar at different times in the game, different times in the fourth quarter. Um, and then with Champagne, like you said, like he led the team in rebounds with 11. Only negative for him was he missed 2 free throws to get the double double. Outside of that, like, great contribution for him tonight. Um, and again, going back to that center thing, Sabonis goes crazy, 18, 16, and 7, does what he does. But if you kind of put together what Washington got out of their two young centers, they put up a fight. I think Tristan had 17, Sar had 15. Together they had 14 rebounds, something like that amongst them. But yeah, I was just impressed with them being able to come away with the win, knowing that they didn't have a bunch of veterans on the court. Like there's no Marcus Smart or Chris Middleton. Tell folks, hey, let's calm down, go through me. And we saw the Kings. I love the Kings late in that game. Started pressuring. They put Keegan on Bub, trying to speed things up, get the ball out of Bub's hand. And then they started trying to fluster with AJ and Tristan. And then you saw Poole and Keith on the sideline, kind of trying to coach up Bub to help him deal with that added ball pressure. Because it's a lot different having Malik Monk guarding you. It's not a knock on Malik Monk versus Keegan Murray being assigned to hound you at half court with the trap. That's it. Good dub. This is the front end of the back to back. They got the Magic tomorrow night. But player of the game for you, right?
Hey, all right.
I go Bub Carrington, man. He really controlled the game and came up big, kind of turned it on in the second half. Yeah, like you said, even with the adjustments the Kings made defensively, typically a player in his position they would kind of play him into mistakes, and he was able to avoid that, and that was huge in the win.
Yeah, I went with Bub. Just that flurry at the end of the third was huge to give them some separation. And then just late game, thought he did a solid job just controlling things when things got a little crazy. All right, X Factor.
Yeah.
Hmm, crowded field tonight, man. I'm gonna go AJ Johnson, man. Young guy getting the start. You know, came with his usual energy. Did get himself some foul trouble, but played well for the most part. 19 and 6, 7-14 from the field. He yeah, man, he made a mark.
All right, I went with Big Tristan. I thought he did a really good job with Sar struggled with some moves early, especially with trying to rebound. Like we've evergreen statement. Uh, the Wizards youngsters all need to hit the weight room this summer, so it can just that would make their lives easier on both ends of the floor for so many of them. We talk about how dynamic AJ is. Imagine what that looks like with some more muscle on him. Now when you're going through the lane, you don't get knocked off path as much. For Sar, same thing. Vooch, same thing. But that 17 and 8 were huge, man. I thought, especially late in the game, I thought he did a great job of because I'm sure he's on scout reports for as a big popping to the 3-point line and knocking some down. I thought he did a great job attacking closeouts under control. That's a lot to ask for bigs, and especially young big. I know there's a couple plays late where it was a hard closeout. He dribbled. No one stepped up. He kept his dribble, got all the way to the cup and finished. So I went with him again. I don't think there's any wrong answers tonight. I think so many people contributed. That said, we'll check in with you guys tomorrow night when they face the Orlando Magic, another big physical team. We'll see you guys then.